What's up, everybody? Thursday night. Thank you for joining us back this week for another episode of Strong Therapy. I hope you guys are ready. We got Brian and Carolyn Strong here ready to rock for you with some interesting stories. I'm sure some good relationship advice for some of you out there who might have some questions. So with that, I'm going to send it on over to the folks over there in Indy. Mr. and
How's
Mrs.
it going?
Strong. How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing great, Chris. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I've been busy, but I've been busy.
I am wearing sunglasses because we all know a little bit of spring is popping through the sky. The grass is getting greener. Things are coming alive, and this is my favorite time of the year. Spring, summer.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I like things coming back to life and blooming.
Completely.
You know, it's just too short that the flowers are on the trees, but that just doesn't last long enough, that part.
No, I enjoy one of my favorite things during spring and summer is watching the plants and I have a garden out front, so I like to watch them grow and get bigger. And
she likes the progress.
Yes, I watch.
What else do you like to see get bigger?
Little nice big chickens.
Oh,
yeah, I like some chicken and some chicken and cock. I like some cock.
I've seen some elaborate cocks.
Yeah, I've seen a few weird ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, well, Well, today we're going to have a fun show for you, and let's take off these sunglasses for right now. We're going to have a great show for you today. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have Jeff Hillman. I'd like to introduce Jeff Hillman. He is better known as
the Emperor.
We'd like to welcome him right now. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey guys, pretty good so far.
I'm glad to hear that.
Excellent.
So how have you been this week? Are you excited for spring?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's nice that the weather's getting like a lot better. Hopefully we can all go outside. I personally don't know why we've been in this entire time, but
yeah, just fuck the establishment. Just go outside and get some air. I mean, in the spots where you're supposed to, wear your mask. But when you're walking outside and people are away from you, take that off. Get some fresh air. Open your windows. Let some fresh air in. We need air because we're like a plant. We need air, sun, and water.
And socialization.
Yes, even our children. I can't say that enough. So we brought Jeff on here today because he's a fun guy. He's a follower of our favorite place, Compound Media, and In Hot Water, and quite a few other shows. But he has some interesting things to talk about today too. That's why we brought him on here today.
Yes.
I don't know if you, our audience, know what backmasking is, but Jeff, some people know, and I knew of it, but I didn't know what it was called. Jeff told me about it. We kind of talk on the side on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and we were talking about it, and he was going to talk about that today.
Yeah, I knew of it, but I didn't realize that was what it was called.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, oh, you mean that weird stuff where you mess with a vinyl and he was like, well, yeah, it's called backmasking. So he's very intelligent when it comes to math and science and way beyond Carolyn's realm of creativity. But
art history.
Yeah, Brian and him connect really well as far as knowing a lot of different stuff. So I thought it would be cool for Carolyn, who doesn't know about this shit, to learn. And those of you out there that don't know, or you might already know and you want to learn about it. So tell us what you can, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for that kind introduction. Well, folks at home, backmasking is a phenomenon It was popular in the 70s because before MP3s and all that, we basically had these vinyl records. Basically, we had put songs on them. I'm sure many of you know what vinyls are, unless you're a millennial, but let's not get into that now. What would happen is that if you would play it one way, it would play the song as is. But certain people, what they thought, for whatever reason, is they would spin the record backwards. And every now and then, they would think they heard something. Now, what you actually heard was just a bunch of white noise, random sound, because that's what happens when you spin a record backwards. We know this from like someone like a mix master Mike, like a turntablist. We know the weird sounds it makes.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
DJ MC in 1978 was probably the first to hear it go backwards and go, oh, I think I found something or invented something.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what I thought would be fun today is I had found a website that has basically they have the original version of the songs and they have the version when it's played backwards. And I thought, well, why not the three of us try to guess what some of these hidden messages are in these songs. So
cool.
What do you guys think?
I heard Satan.
I definitely heard potatoes, sad, and Satan.
I heard Satan
sad,
as well somewhere.
Satan 666. That's what I got.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard Satan. I was like, as you know, I don't want to say I'm a big religious person, but when we talked about this before, I was like, I don't want anything that's gonna like come through my computer and
no.
I wonder if
put
it's
some bad shit. And he was like, Carolyn, it's just back.
One of our daughters sounds like Captain Cody or whatever his name was in The Exorcist.
Yeah, she's really good. She'll go, yeah. But yeah, this kind of stuff freaks me out. It always has. Like, I don't even have, Jeff, in my home a Ouija board, and there never will be a Ouija board because I freak out about shit. You want one?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, fuck no.
Bring on the dead.
I don't want any demons. He tried to show me a video about something, and I went, turn that off.
Well, it was an exorcism.
So what words are supposed to be on there, Jeff?
Well, it looks like we... Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I actually was going to say Chris could pull up the website and we could see the lyrics. And if we play it again, we'll try to find the lyrics.
You heard potato?
Yeah.
There we go. I'll play it again. This time with lyrics showing.
Huh.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
that was
I thought I
point.
heard some of them words. I guess potatoes wasn't in there. I thought it was like an Irish curse.
Yeah.
I need a big potato.
Mm.
I don't know how I was talking right there. What accent?
We need more starch.
We need more potatoes and Satan.
But that's
what Brian was hearing.
That's ironic, though, like that it's Stairway to Heaven and it would have these as the back lyrics. Like, that's a bit ironic.
Yeah. Oh, just.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't a satanic message. This is literally just the natural sound when you play it backwards.
Right.
But once we're told what to look for, we're like, he does have a little tool shed where he makes us suffer.
Yeah, when I was reading with it, you could.
She's got a she shed.
when it was preparing or playing on there, this words were on there. I'm like reading it with it, mouthing it. I'm like, oh yeah, that does say that. But the only thing I did catch was Satan.
She shed Satan.
Yeah.
One and the same.
All right.
So checking out this next one
Our
here.
Christ compels you.
Well,
Would you guys like to try another song?
that would be great.
Yes.
This one's a little shorter. Let's see if we can pick this one up. Ready?
Okay.
Ooh, that's a tougher one. I'll play it again real quick for everybody.
That's definitely Hotel California.
It is Hotel California. Any guesses as to what it's sounding like, though, guys?
Satan is beyond the burning, is what I heard.
I heard sleeping.
Because you're tired.
No, I heard sleeping. Me and the burn.
I'm like, this is about to turn into a Freudian session or something.
I
know,
heard
right?
like Me Mi Amo. Maybe it's like a Latin back mask.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that too.
Let's find out. Ready?
Let's see.
Satan is beyond the burning.
Let's see what we got.
Satan.
Wow.
Ah, that's so weird.
That one's a tough one.
No.
Huh.
I'm noticing a
That's-
motif here.
A lot of Satan.
Nothing about sleeping.
Well, and during the time, I think me and Jeff have talked about this.
What's one of the seven sins about sleeping too much?
Sloth.
Sloth?
Yeah, sloth.
Yeah.
Sloth.
Such a
I
cute,
don't like
deadly
that
sin,
word.
you know?
Sloth reminds me of just. Bleh.
You do too much smoking, you get a little slothy.
Oh, shut up.
No, I meant smoking.
Oh, smoking like dope? Oh, excuse me, pot,
Yes.
marijuana.
Yes.
If I say dope, I forget. They think I mean heroin. So I'm back in the day where I grew up on dope. Anyways, it really freaks me out, but it's cool. So, like, have you ever listened to, these are my crazy questions, newer songs, and are there newer songs that people have done and played
I
them
would
backwards?
think it would be easier to do in the digital age, honestly.
Well, on this site we have Paparazzi by Lady
Ooh, I see
Gaga.
that one.
Here, I'll find
Yeah.
out here.
Can you pop that
Paparazzi
rap?
and the Pokemon rap.
Here, let's get paparazzi here.
Pokeman?
It's another shorter one here. Let's see what we got. So this is paparazzi. And who's that by again? Is that
That's a gaga.
Katie? Oh, Gaga, right. Let's see here. Okay. That one's a lot clearer. Let's do it once more. How you guys feeling on that one?
I don't know.
I got, oh God, acts of voices.
I heard beautiful and crucible.
Huh.
I got nothing.
Yeah, this is a Freudian thing, Chris.
This one probably is, but when you see the lyrics, it does kind of work. Let me pull it up for you.
Okay. The word Lucifer, though, it went Lucifer.
Yeah.
Now, right now, I am watching the show Lucifer, ladies. I would be down for some Satan.
This just feeds into every conspiracy theory, though, because there's all those stories, whether they're real or not, about like record labels having a, well, even beyond that, they'll say, okay, record labels will have like an altar room where they consecrate the record to Satan and blah, blah, blah. And obviously it's, you know, it's whether you believe it or not, pretty much. But this doesn't lend any.
Pizzagate happened, or they're eating or drinking blood of children that have been.
They got those
to
people
death.
got so much damn money. They probably get bored and do this shit. Who knows what the fuck they do out there? You know,
Maybe
they
they're-
get bored. They got all the power they want. They got all the money. Oh, let's do something different that no one else is doing. Let's talk to Satan.
Satan.
I feel like they don't even have to actually be dangerous. Like they're like, let's just let the public think that we do this, and then they won't fuck with us. They'll never mess
Right.
with us.
Chris, I am curious for this baby one more time. We'll try this one. and
Cool.
then we'll move on. Britney Spears. I wonder what her devil music is.
Here we go one more time. What do you guys think?
One more time, if you don't mind.
I think I think this does have something to do with sleep.
That one I had Satan give me. That's all I got. But I'm stuck on the Satan because it freaks me out.
Yeah, I heard Satan in the beginning, and then something about Maya Gula, like a ghoul.
All right.
Let's find out here.
Let's see.
I want to hear what Chris thinks.
My problem was I opened up the lyrics when I was playing them, so it would have been unfair. I should have done it too because I like this type of thing a lot. But let's see here.
Wow.
Well, she doesn't have to hide that message.
No. What year did that song come out?
Hopefully after she was 18.
Yeah.
I think she wore that red outfit in that video when she was 18. I did it again or something.
that was your favorite
Oh,
one.
that
wasn't
red
it?
leather. Yeah, that was some.
Wow.
That was okay. That one.
Yeah. He puts that in his spank bank. I let him have a spank bank. It's a good thing.
I don't use a spank bank.
You don't ever use your imagination when we're fucking?
Not like that, no.
I feel like this was all back in the day. Like I'm at the right age where that stuff was out. Like when you were just starting to get into like stuff, but porn wasn't prolific on the internet yet, and so like MTV would be like turning you on or some shit like that, and Christina Aguilera videos, like they would take it like a step too far. You know what I mean? For shit that was on at 3 p.m. in the daytime.
One that got me was Papa Don't Preach from Madonna, where she had like hair like what's her name, Marilyn Monroe,
Yeah.
and a little black bustier and these little leggings. I was like, holy shit, titties bouncing everywhere. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
she hasn't gotten the memo to stop doing that 45 years later.
No. What were you going to say, Jeff?
I was going to say, for me, that music video would have been "My Love Is Like Woe" by Maya Harrison. Maya Harrison is insanely.
We gotta look at her.
I'll take a look at that later.
I can't remember the name of the guy. It was like Chris something. It was some like ballad song. It was black and white with like a woman and a man on a beach, and it was like very fucking intimate for back in the day.
I will recommend watching, and I can't think of the name of it, but Luby's video that she produced.
Oh yeah.
There's some hot girls on that. And what's the twin girls that you watched? That's I think
Nikita. They're from the Ukraine. Two women. I think they kind of broke up, the original two members. I mean, they were basically naked in one video, and one of them went on to become like the Century Playboy or the 50th anniversary Playboy.
Wow.
Is that anything like the Femme Nikita? Maybe I'm showing my age.
No.
But no, I got what you said, and I'm your age too. So thank you for that, because that was really fun. I know that
that was interesting.
We have some news therapy coming up. This segment is really fun. We'd love for you to stay and give your opinions and kind of joke with us on this. It's going to be fun. Now, I don't know if you've seen in the news, Jeff, Krispy Kreme is basically giving unlimited free donuts to vaccinated people. We talked about this with Gino, but I wanted to get your opinion on it because I want more people to discuss this, because it just, I know we talked about this, but I feel like
they're really pushing this vaccine. And the thing that's funny, I'm seeing news things now of saying COVID on the rise, even with vaccine. Like, oh, you can't have it both ways. Apparently, this vaccine isn't for whatever is making people sick still. You know, it's like I was saying, they've opened up Pandora's box with the initial one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now they can just release shit, you know, and whenever, you know, they want to maintain power. I mean, they can, if they have all kinds of different strains, I mean,
And I have since last week decided I am going to get vaccinated. I am doing it not only for my kids, I'm doing it to protect other people, even though I've had COVID. I scheduled for it, but I also am going to be traveling. And if I'm going to be traveling, we know now that if you're traveling, they'd like to have you vaccinated if you're going to go out of the country.
Is that true?
Yes.
So you have to be vaccinated to get out of the country?
I think they're making it part of what's going to happen. So when we are supposed to go to Scotland in August.
I mean, how do we know what they're shooting in us, honestly? I mean, it could be, I mean, the government's done, they've done experiments on us for years. Like they injected plutonium into people at one time, just to see what it would do. I mean, maybe they're just giving us a placebo. I mean, who the hell knows?
Well,
I think, like you're saying, I think it's like kind of to set up the infrastructure, because people that are not cynical of this are like, why would you worry about the vaccine so much unless you're anti-vax? And it's like, I'm not worried about the vaccine as far as them forcing you to prove that you've taken it and stuff. I'm worried about what they're going to use that infrastructure for next. When they say, oh, it's not a vaccine, now you got to prove you did this, now you got to prove you did that in order to go to a baseball game or a flight. And now they have in New York here this thing called the Excelsior Pass that rolls out in like 3 days, where it takes your situation with testing or vaccination and digitizes it on the back end with a database, which I think is dangerous, because I'm just now in the process of getting a fake vaccine card made up myself and thinking about who else I could help with that if they need it. But once it all goes digital, you know what I mean? Then it's there's no getting around that. So I'm a little.
It's the mark of the beast.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the thing in your hand without being in your hand.
Well, yeah. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of paper money, and then eventually you just swipe your hand to buy anything, ding, ding, and they can just dox you when you don't think their way and turn off your chip.
Mm-hmm. I always warn people, like, how I'm like, you guys don't get it, how, okay, these things that scan your face, like for instance, over here, when you're walking into some restaurants, instead of just taking your temperature, they might have an iPad that has a thermometer attached to it, and you put your face in front of it. And I'm like, people like this think this is normal. I go, this is going to be funny when some person who has too many parking tickets can't get into a venue because he's persona non grata, and then the cops are on their way to that venue to scoop him up for a warrant because he scanned his face there. Like, I mean, I'm just thinking it's like Judge Dredd future if they implement this stuff. And I'm not like a big conspiracy theorist, but that just seems likely, Not to be a downer.
It's just about natural progressions. What can this progress to?
Right.
It's like when they started with the statues, tearing the statues down. It was like, okay, what's the end game here? Where does it stop? And it doesn't seem like it has one.
And what were you going to say, Jeff?
Well, what I was going to say about this whole pandemic thing, and I'm a man of science. I'm fascinated by it, and I keep hearing trust the science. And the main point of science is you have to make predictions. And the initial predictions was, if we do all this lockdown and all this nonsense, there's going to be 3 million dead at the end of March last year. And they modeled this by saying, well, the number of deaths is going to increase, the number of deaths will double every 3 days. And I'm being a mathematician. I'm like, okay, that's 3 million on the 1st of April, 6 million on the 4th of April, 12 million on the 7th of April, the 10th of April, we're at 24 million. And it's like, this is going up really fast, because after 24, it's 48, the 96, 192.
Yeah, it's like Captain Trips.
Yeah, and then 768 after 9 iterations. Basically, on the 28th of April, 768 million people should have died. And it's like, that's a terrible fucking guess. I don't know why anyone believed this for a second. And here we are a year later, and I see these people with masks. I'm like, oh, you guys are still doing this? Like, what? Like, I know people want to say, oh, science changes. No, science develops and gets more and more accurate. But if your initial prediction gets you 800 million, because, there's that many Americans to go around, and that's fucking ridiculous. I don't know why anyone believed this for a second. Like,
Yeah.
and now with all this vaccine and these chips, like, no, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I like, this is nonsense.
Right.
I
don't
think they
understand any of
expected.
this.
I think they expected this strain to be deadlier than what it turned out to be.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it could have been deadlier. Part of science is you make your initial predictions. If we had 3 million dead at the end of March last year, I'd be like, fuck, this is serious. But you're so wrong. I think it was like what, 30 or 40,000? Oh, that's like a
comparison is ridiculous. The comparison of death.
Yeah.
And when we discuss this,
It's like the difference between the city of Chicago and like a stadium in Chicago.
yeah, and we're
Exactly.
not, as far as talking about this on our podcast, we're not, inconsiderate of a loss of death.
I lost my father to COVID.
Yes, and we're not. Is that God? I don't know if you guys heard that, but we have children.
I actually did have giant gust of wind, so maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, we are sympathetic, and I pray
Mhm.
for everyone that's in that. And when we discuss this is about the fact that there is the great argument between us humans about what is right and what is wrong with all this. But it feels like Brian said, they're pushing it on either the world or America. I mean, using marketing is ridiculous to me. Like, oh, you're a good person, so here's your treat.
Well, it's
you
like
get
that-
a donut.
It's like that movie from the late 80s with the wrestler in it, where it had all the aliens pushing their narrative through subliminal messaging.
Well, and we know that there's subliminal messaging
What the
and
heck was
and
that
everything. Oh, I don't know. That's a movie.
Rocky 3?
I pay the food.
Yeah.
Do what I say.
Yeah. Well, with what you were saying about the they try to like grandstand and like, oh, you're a good person, here's your treat. Like, people tell me all the time, because I've mentioned this several times, I think this is a complete waste of time. I understand that, yes, people will die, and I can sympathize. I agree. Believe me, my heart goes out to you. However, people die. It is a sad reality of life. This is why we need to spend time with each other. This is why we need to make time out of our day to go on fucking Strong Therapy podcasts and phone into In Hot Water and like I make every day count.
Yes. And it's important to have connections. I mean, personally right now, in Indiana, it's a little different than like New York and how things are shut down. My great nephews came over yesterday because they're thinking about painting for us, and we're going to have them paint. I haven't seen their baby since she was an infant.
Yeah.
And she's now walking and talking.
Yeah, she's a toddler now.
I mean, it enrages
sad.
me. Enrages me that I am missing out on my family, our older family, his mother, for instance.
It's turning people into strangers.
Yes. And if any of our audience out there is a religious person, we think about what is the meaning of life. Well, guess what? Coronavirus taught me that I want my fucking family. I want to be around them.
Yeah.
I want to feel, touch this we're on a Zoom right now having this, which is great because you're far away. But someone that's 20 minutes away from me, 30 minutes away from me, I should be able to fucking drive to their house and sit with them and talk with them and touch their hand, give them a kiss, like
Will
I do
you feel
him.
and touch on me?
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, baby.
I mean, it strikes me as to me the people that say like it doesn't exist. Okay, you're too much to one end. The people that say that it's the thing we should be thinking the most about, you're too much to the other end. But like, I feel like they just remarketed the flu. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, because the flu kills people. If you're 65 or 75 and you're diabetic or you have a heart disease and you get a bad flu or you have pneumonia or something, you get a bad flu, it might kill you. And I just think it's that they've just simply converted the numbers over from flu deaths and this stuff to this, it feels like. But it's the same thing with the vaccine. Like, there's a lot of people that seem to, like they treat it like the vaccine's going to stop you from getting it or spreading it. It's like, no, that's not how they work. It just keeps you out of the hospital. But really, I don't know.
Right.
It's been a weird ride so far.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Chris. But what I wanted to say was, like people come to me all the time because, look, I believe in the phenomenology of coronavirus. I get that it's a thing and that it can kill people. I get that. Okay. Now, what it is that it's um, like I remember we had something like, what was it, like 17 million like people just lost their job. So okay, so after your initial prediction, okay,
And then there was, relief. The whole world got relief. Sorry, I got to bring that in there.
Yes, and like basically, so it's okay. We have this tiny number. Even if it was 3 million dead, 17 million is still a bigger number. And I know it sucks to think like that, but this is what a purely mathematical scientific mind would think. And I have people tell me all the time, well, you have to think, oh, well, what if someone you cared about got of COVID? And I always explain to them that is not scientific. You cannot personify science, because what if everyone who died of COVID was a pedophile? Okay, what if COVID only killed pedophiles? We'd all be like, this is great. Hooray for COVID. We should all get COVID so that anyone who tries to be a pedophile will die. But this is exactly why we cannot personify a disease and personify, oh, well, what if it's this person who dies? Well, that's not how science works. And to say, oh, stop everything because something eventually bad could happen. No, I'm not doing that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The virus doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about personifying or anything. The thing that scares me, though, is this gain of function that they've been working on with these different viruses to try and make them more powerful or more deadly to humans. And they say they do this so they can understand the virus to come up with vaccines, better vaccines in the future to fight off superbugs or whatever. And I think in Wuhan, they were working on such gain of function with different viruses, I believe, like bat viruses or something.
Right.
SARS, if you will. And then just to say that, oh, no, it didn't come from this science, this lab is kind of crazy to me. It just.
I honestly think it came from the Kardashians.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I really do. I mean,
it came out of her giant ass.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow the Kardashians. I don't.
Oh, religiously.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Chris.
In fact, we gotta stop this recording. A rerun just came on right now.
Well, I mean, that's it. My mother-in-law absolutely loves the Kardashians. That's one thing she'll call me and she goes, "Are you up to date on the Kardashians?" I was like, "Cheryl, I do not watch them."
Like, I have 3 kids.
They come across the news feed, and this. I'm
segue.
Well, I gotta figure out some good ways to bring this shit together. I'm learning here.
Deadly Lab with Kardashians
with big fat asses.
I wonder how many purses you can make out of from her ass.
Oh shit!
I think a couple of cute little.
You can get a couple yards out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, I'd make a few. Yeah. But Kylie Jenner has been in the news, Jeff, lately. She got backlash after asking fans to pay for her stylist's surgery. Now.
Oh, is this after a car accident?
Yeah, it was awful. The poor guy, he really needed some help. So, and we know, because all the rich, we know how much they make. She is worth $900 million, reportedly.
Why?
And she gets it easy. You know what I mean? Like, she can make another 100 million just by deciding to branch off into a new thing.
Exactly.
She's like Kim Kardashian light.
Well, she kicks ass on making money. Her makeup artist, he's no longer her makeup artist, but he was for a really long time. And one of the things that bother me is, I'm happy that she transitioned. There's photos of her, how she looked before. She's had cosmetic surgery herself and moved. Yeah, into all this stuff. And then, of course, she has great people that take care of her face and put her makeup on and do her hair. Well, this guy got in a car accident. His family had started a GoFundMe, and I think it was like for $60,000.
This guy used to be her stylist. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, like very
makeup
personal,
artist.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was like her personal makeup artist.
Yes.
Okay.
And she and she's gorgeous. I mean, look at that. I don't look at her very often because I'm not a big follower of celebrities and stuff like that.
It's Cleopatra.
I follow more like comedians, normal people that
She looks like she's
normal.
looking in two different directions.
Actually, yeah, she's got that little thing going
She's
on.
looking in,
She's looking at her bank account numbers.
and also the
It's
basketball
it's
court.
that wide of a number where she has to look in two different directions to see both sides of it.
Exactly. But she is absolutely gorgeous. God's blessed her, and she's changed over this time, and I'm happy for her. But
Her
also-
eyebrows are on fleek.
In addition to God, she was also blessed by Dr. Johann Schwartz of West Hollywood. Look him up.
Bless you, Schwartz.
yes, I think I need her nose. Maybe I like to have all her stylists. Don't get me wrong. If I was blessed to have all that shit, I would do it too. I think most women would. But the point of this fucking article is she fucking posted out there for all these people that follow her to help pay for this gentleman's surgery. It was like $60,000. It was only like $30,000 away from being finished, Jeff. And she shares it when she could have she buys her daughter $100,000 purses
Oh,
that match hers, so she can go shopping and spend $200,000 on purses for her and her daughter, but she couldn't pay off the rest of this guy.
so she donated $5,000 instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm going to take care of that for you. Thanks for putting makeup on me."
Yeah, and as you can see, people really were very upset about the fact that there was only $60,000 in the total for his surgery. He was like maybe, I think it was like $30,000 away from his goal.
Well, they say that some people stay rich because they're tightwads.
I'm sorry, but if you and I made $900 million,
I have a hell of a Star Wars collection.
I would have a great Snow White and a big pool in the backyard.
This is an original TIE fighter with instructions. 1978, baby.
Oh, I would let you get that.
I would also-
If you're worth 900 million, I don't even think you'd notice $5,000.
Yeah,
No, I don't think you would either.
you wouldn't notice 30 grand to
Probably
pay it
fell
off.
out of her ass.
Carolyn, I would also have a Snow White collection if I had $900 million, but it wouldn't be on VHS. It'd be the kind you could dive into in a kiddie pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you
Yeah.
I wanted a pool, so we could just have a Snow White pool in the backyard.
I'd have a room for smelling money.
Yeah,
Yeah. If
I
I
love
had
the smell of
$900
crystal.
million, I would buy a very secure barrel, go down to Thunder Bay, see the dolphins and the whales at SeaWorld, get in a barrel, jump right the fuck off Niagara Falls, and become American.
There you go. I'm too scared to do that.
People have done it and survived.
When you said, I'm going to buy a barrel, I was like, what the fuck? A barrel of what? A barrel of whiskey?
Monkeys?
A
Yeah,
barrel
it's,
of...
Yeah, it's called proper storytelling. A barrel? Oh, all this to become American. Why not just cross the border?
It's so in vogue these
Exactly.
days.
Seems to
Fine
work for other
Montana.
people.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You could even
Well-
go to school in person if you do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to bring that. Now she did come back and apologize.
My publicist said I need to
Yeah.
apologize.
I feel it's important for me to clear up this false narrative that I've asked fans for money and I am not paying for my makeup artist's medical bills. Sam isn't my makeup artist. And unfortunately, we don't have a personal relationship anymore. But I have worked with him a few years ago and think he's the sweetest.
But fuck him. We don't have a personal relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So he can go screw.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not in my my recent past of 5 days, I don't give 3 shits about.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry. This cancel culture world that we're in, this is where the true cancel culture should be. To me, if you're going to use it against someone who has $900 million fucking dollars and doesn't do the right thing. She has $900 million. Give it to the homeless. Give money.
No, she needs to give her fair share to the government.
This thing here too, though, I got to admit, reading further down, it does make me feel, as long as she's not full of shit, it does make me feel a little bit of compassion, because the internet is a weird place and things change in real time. So as you can see, she's claiming, hopefully truly, that when she found the GoFundMe, it was at 6K out of a 10K goal, and she figured 5K gets them over the goal. But then, like many things, I've done a GoFundMe before, and once I reached my goal, I put another 500 on and see if I can make it to there. So I think what happened here was that they might have, if she's to be believed, after they reached their goal, they expanded the goal to a bigger number, which I don't blame them for doing. Maybe the surgery turned out to be more expensive, but I'm like, if that really happened to her, I feel a little bad. But someone in her camp should know that that's how the internet works. And it's like, listen, break this guy off 20 grand right now. You'll look good. You won't even notice it. It's like a bagel at lunch for her. So
if this Sam guy liked whatever Kardashian, Wendell or whatever the fuck her name is, why not call her directly?
Yeah, well, and that's my point is that if I saw someone, even an associate, and I made $900 million, no, everybody doesn't want to.
An acquaintance.
Yeah. And I saw that they got in a car wreck and I made that kind of money, the type of person I guess that I am, I would probably give them the rest of the money if I found out how much it was.
I'd go to China and buy him a new leg.
Yeah, or a liver.
Yeah.
Or a little Geppetto.
I brought you a servant over to help you.
I would spend $6 million and make them bionic.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's just,
including the sound effect.
Yeah, it just I brought this up just because, again, I don't follow these people.
You know what would be funny if the bionic woman was given a hand job and that sound effect was having a that's in slow motion. And the fucking rope comes up slow motion, kind of like Green Door.
Jeff, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have that on my phone when I'm jacking him off. And I'll go.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with the time.
I'll do my.
Jesus Christ.
That's a powerful grip you got there, woman.
You know I'm strong. I'm Carolyn Strong.
She tore my glands off.
Well, that's only because if you ever fuck me over with another woman. Anyways,
we'll have to freeze frame those eyes for you.
Yeah.
Screenshot
well, I'll tell
that
you
one.
What? That is the one thing.
She shed Satan. I told you.
No, I've always told you. I have to threaten him a little bit with violence to keep him in line.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah, I've never choked him. He's never choked me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you people were fun.
Oh, okay. Where you want to go now?
Say my name.
Yeah. Fuck. If he ever choked me.
Kick me in the nuts.
No, but as a quick PSA to the gentleman out there, obviously you don't choke your lady unless she asks for it. But if she asks for it, you fucking do it right. You don't get in there with that little dead fish, thing. And also, you don't crush her damn windpipe. Stop acting like it's a UFC fight. You got to get the hand or the heart, the hand to the sides where the blood vessels are. You do not stop someone from breathing. That's how you hurt someone. So for any of you out there who are going to experiment, hopefully that gives you a little fucking primer, at least.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah.
It's like you're checking a pulse. You're not crushing.
Now, Chris, have you ever done it?
Yes.
You have.
But the thing was, it wasn't my idea. However, I'll admit, having had it requested a bunch of times, not by who I'm currently with, but previous people, it doesn't do anything. I don't need it, but I'll admit it's it's sexy probably in as much as it gets them off really well. You know what I mean? So I think
Really?
to me
So-
that's why
so
it's sexy is it's so effective on them. But there is a biological element there because I mean people have fucking died. Like David Carradine is a non-existent person because apparently coming while you're almost passing out is so good that he hung himself in a closet by accident trying to do that. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that is. I've never been on the receiving end of it, but apparently there must be some science behind it. Maybe Jeff's explored the science of that one at some point.
I think it's pretty good by the way it is. You don't need to choke me.
I always
choke the chicken.
I always like afterwards, I'm one of those polite women and I'll go, was it good? And he always, no matter what I've done to help him out or whatever, or we've had sex, he always goes, oh, well, when would it wouldn't be?
Yeah.
When would it not be good?
It's pizza.
I'm like,
that was terrible.
Sex is pizza. It's like it's at worst
think
good.
about, pardon me.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's more like, Chris, I guess I'm thinking about there's different sensations that women get during intercourse or
you have multiple locations, which is really interesting. It's like
and different sensations with those.
Yeah, you got one back in there, one up there, one way up here. This is like
so
gotta be a magician. Bingo.
So I think about Shazam.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I
Just
think
like pull a rabbit out.
Yeah. He pulls a rabbit out of
I
my
think
coot.
too, though, it's like I can't figure out whether there's that biological shit I just talked about, but then also I think some girls just like to feel dominated, and so whether or not it's the the scientific part of it or whatever, the asphyxiation thing, then I think some chicks just like to be held down.
I'll agree with the whole dominant thing because I will say there has been times where I've told him to like hold my wrists. But
sure, yeah.
I haven't.
I'll choke you if I can.
No.
If I can also use curse words.
No, you are not fucking choking me.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
You want a fucking pool? God damn you! You're raising my rent. You're
just shut your fucking trap.
Quit telling me more shit you want. The house painted, new floors. I'm gonna
looking at me like that.
It's like, and we're officially in the relationship smash up portion of the show.
Exactly.
I'll be telling you though, Carolyn, it's not something that listen, you know your own boundaries, you know what's good, but I'll say as someone who before I had tried it with somebody would have been skeptical as to like, why the fuck would you want me to do this? I get it. And even though I haven't had anyone do it to me, cause that's not as much my style. It's pretty fucking cool. Like if the woman is into it and it gets her off properly, that's a good dynamic for everybody. So, I look at it like it's become a fun thing where I don't think I'll put it this way. I've been with someone for a while now, so it hasn't changed, but like in the past when I was just single, I would at least, not to be too fucking detailed, but I would at least softly place my hand on their throat and gauge their reaction because I'll tell you, they react one way or the other. It's either very inviting or very like, what the fuck are you doing? So you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's good. It's good to I think move past the I'm getting it suggested to me and being the I'm now taking the fucking the reins here.
I'm just thinking about the fact that if any partner of mine, see my hair gets bigger when I'm thinking about this shit.
It's like a blind man in a bra store. You gotta feel things out.
I would be that woman that you said as you're like slowly feel, and I'd go, "What the fuck are you doing?" I wouldn't be calm about it because I would totally be like, because I listen to every goddamn murder shit all the fucking time.
I'm balls deep, baby.
This son of a bitch is gonna fucking kill me, rape me, put me in a dumpster, and no one's gonna find me. If anything,
how come that ice pick is on the nightstand?
Exactly, dude.
Don't look at all that plastic over there.
No.
I got a project coming up.
He's fucking Dexter and shit. That's what I would have fucking thought. Oh my god, I mean, even on our first date, talking relationships. I don't think I've talked about this.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Go ahead.
Our first date, I was stupid and went to his apartment. Didn't know him at all, only from the internet. It's cold and snowing. He has leather gloves on, leather jacket,
It was
and
January 4th.
And he's going.
putting them on.
Were you doing like the Mr. Burns excellent hands or some shit?
Yes.
She must have thought I was.
He's getting ready to do an Andrew Dice Clay bit.
Yeah. Exactly. So I had my keys ready, and if he would have done anything, I would have jumped up and hit him in his eye because I'm so short. But
after seeing my dogs, you should have known I was perfectly A-okay.
No.
Also, Carolyn,
the last
don't do that.
article
You'll cut
we're going
your...
to talk about today is, and I'm sorry to go so quickly because I really want to get to this, is have you ever heard of objectphilia? No. Well, this video that you're about to watch in our audience, let's just say that I sat and laughed forever, and I didn't know much about it. Objectphilia is about people that fall in love with actual objects. Yeah. Now I understand.
From
falling in love with laptops to marrying train stations.
Nice.
They might fall in love with buses, cars.
I fall in love with nouns.
Yeah, exactly. Even humans start to prefer objects rather than their own species.
Well, because they can't turn you down.
Good point. Where are we at?
The train station kicked me out.
It's a one-sided relationship, so it's that human doing all the talking, imagining.
I've seen a guy fuck a Chrysler.
Have you really? Gas tank?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have known about using all kinds of different things, but to actually fall in love and marry these things, this is how...
He said yes. He said yes!
I just think it's weird that they fall in love with objects. I mean, I understand the fact that it's one-sided, one human to another.
Somebody went, places or things.
People, places, and things.
There's not just people.
Yeah. So as far as this is concerned, it's like just odd to me, sad to me, but quite entertaining. The people usually are socially isolated.
Social isolation.
And of course, like I said before, one-sided relationships. So they're imagining the conversation of the reciprocation of love and all these different things.
They just need a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
Exactly. And by doing that, they don't have to have arguments or disagreements, which in a relationship does suck. But it's sad that they can't get past that and actually have a person in their life.
They probably tend to win most of the arguments, and if they don't win the arguments, that's real sad.
Do you think it's considered an abusive relationship based on that? Like he's just always dominating the conversation and always telling the inanimate object what to do, where to be, and when? It just seems like pretty abusive relationship.
Yeah.
What would be really funny would be, say some guy's in love with a door, and he's yelling at the door, "How come you never talk to me?" Da, da, da. And then the door responds, "Well, how come last January when we were supposed to go to this, just bring up shit from the past that has nothing to do with anything."
I would love to be.
I saw you looking at other doors.
Well, or I'm awful. Fucking with the person that's in love with that thing and standing on the other side and responding to them.
You always close on me.
Yeah. So
Be like lady, Mr. Furley.
Yeah. This lady right here, she
might be kissing bird shit.
Oh, the
it's
Eiffel
a bridge.
Tower.
She's married to the Eiffel Tower in France.
Look at that.
As you can see right there.
No, it could be a French bird then.
Well, how many people do you think now have married the Eiffel Tower? He or she is a fucking asshole, and
she probably just wants it to fuck it because it's like a phallic symbol,
Right.
The ultimate phallic.
I
She's
also
a size
have
queen.
a video that I'd like to.
I need 900 feet of dick with a fat face
and stern steel right behind there. A video here that we can observe for a moment, and then we'll discuss because there's a lot I want to discuss on this. It's just something else.
She's not stopping until her cervix is bruised.
Oh, something bruised and tattered. Her labia's ripped.
My liver hurts.
Her lips are ripped. So this young lady right here, She's in love with
Who's that dude?
it's a lady.
Oh.
I only know that because I watched it 12 times.
His main lover is a humble fairground ride called 1001 Nacht.
Does she know that's a footstep?
I love the circus
You
music
smell
playing
good.
behind it.
God, you smell so good. He's just so noble, so proud, so strong.
And she's licking it.
I not only love him for a sexual attraction, I mean, we're not talking about fetish here. I love him as a mate.
Are you sure that's a girl?
You make me feel so alive, 1001 Nacht. I can touch the sky as your counterweights descend and your gondola rises. My days are brighter when I gaze upon your handsome face.
She wrote a poem. I love it.
An OS person talks to their beloved object, and the object communicates back by telepathy.
Is she an offensive lineman?
How many times
Preparing
over
for
when
play?
we've made love at home have I
Yes.
asked you for... Look at me. Look at me and say it.
Now, that alone, Jeff, freaks me out.
The whole
and I know-
family's like,
Yeah, I guess I don't understand it. You know, we talk about relationships on strong therapy, and I want to learn about these things. And in the same respect, I do make fun of things, and I'm sorry if you're someone that has this and you love objects. I want to learn more, so message me about it and your instances, but I am not in love with my dildo. I am not in love with items. I might love my lipstick,
Yeah.
but not.
Steven Tyler is loving an elevator.
true.
Yeah.
That's a very good.
Yeah, based on what I've seen, I think that person is seeing the, like, when he talks about the telepathy and the reciprocal love, that is exactly like that backmasking. Like, he's looking for it, and he'll find it wherever.
Yeah, hearing
But,
what they want to hear.
Yeah, what would be crazy would be if, like, somehow there's a mishap and that roller coaster started choking them. What would you do with that?
Exactly. Just something comes.
Too hard.
Yeah.
Would they get off or get off?
Yeah, I've been wanting you to touch my jib, not my fucking, it just starts talking and choking her.
I wonder if the principal came home and, when this started, she started fucking the chalkboard in class.
Yeah, and then she grabbed a bunch of pencils and stuck them up her ass, and
then she shaved her head, and we don't know what the hell's going on now.
It gave a whole new name to the number 2 pencil when it came back out. Sorry, you gave me an alley-oop there. I had to slam it down. Sorry.
I know, right? I love that you said alley-oop.
It was a jumbo pencil, too.
That was a slam dunk.
Big brown one. Hello.
Oh gosh, yucko. But I don't like anything to do with poop. Okay,
Sorry.
so this is her family. Looks like she has that's
That's
her.
the way they look.
That's Toto.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we have Toto,
The thin man.
and
The
man.
thinner man.
Who the hell was distracting them off to the side is what I
I
want to know.
can't. Yeah. I'm blanking on old celebrities.
Again,
That's Tilly.
they're all looking in a weird way like Kylie.
Well, it's like she told him about her affliction. That's how they looked at her.
Here, let's see what they say.
Our family was always dysfunctional. I was always under constant stress. This is not all my collection. This is just, I'd say, 3/4 of my collection.
So she comes
I have
from good
about
stock.
50 different sets of dolls.
Listen,
They got the horror music
as far
organs.
as I'm concerned, they're better than having a man in my bedroom.
The fucking
they're
Dutch
better
boy.
than having a
And that's what I
man
do
in
for
my
my fun.
bedroom.
It was the fucking Dutch boy. It's like a haunted fucking house.
So, and sometimes, I struggle with
Brian's
different
face.
sexual things.
Were those Raggedy Anns and
Andes.
or were there Andes there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I struggle with different things as far as sexual backgrounds, male, female, transgender, but I'm willing to learn. Like later on, I'm gonna discuss transgender with someone on the podcast, and we're gonna bring someone on to discuss it.
Yes,
because I want to learn, and I have this in my family. I have a family member that is transgender, and objectophilia, although I'm making fun of it, is a condition.
Well, you gotta.
Well, it's odd to me.
It's like the people that have been abducted by aliens. There's millions of them, but you think you were.
Did I say alien? I meant Alan.
Yeah.
Alan took me somewhere and did things to me.
So to me, when I watch this video and her mom says, I'd rather have them in my bed than a man, this is what has been in this young girl's head from birth. Because not birth, whenever the divorce happened and they separated. And that would be...
Where's the tragedy?
There is the whole psychological aspect that even though they're calling it objectophilia, we're not able to know all the background. We get a little bit in the next segment. She opens up and tells you a little bit of her background.
Opens up what?
If you... Not that ride.
Let's see here.
Amy was identified at age 3 as developmentally delayed. In first grade, she was classified as an emotionally disturbed student and placed in a full-time SED classroom. She is a loner who, since a child, has fixated on objects, organs, fans, globes, washing machines, spaceships.
When she smiles at that, I wonder where
she is currently fixated with the Twin Towers.
She meant rocket ship.
Amy appears
it's a
to meet the
now.
criteria for a diagnosis of Asperger's disorder. I love the roundness of his counterweights at the top. I love him for the narrowness of his jibs. I love him for the elegant lines of his gondola, which is now covered up for the winter.
Take a look at this gondola.
Check out my jibs. I mean, I'm happy she's doing poetry. I mean, writing is a good thing to do.
My gondola is a little smelly. You might want to watch out there.
Just
work around that jib.
How many people could fit in a common gondola, Carolyn? In a standard gondola.
My gondola is for one.
Yes, sole mio, oh, sole mia.
He's got to take
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's the morning.
I love me some of that song.
I just wonder if she likes the Twin Towers, is one going to get jealous of the other? Like, does that create a complicated triangle of some kind?
One in the pink.
Whoa, Kate. Not to sound like Gino, are they a widow?
Oh,
think about that.
Yeah, I bet she had a huge emotional breakdown after that happened.
Yeah.
Well, she's like any guy. She has a long-standing twins fantasy. That's never going to happen. So, same time. Sorry, that was a terrible 9/11 joke.
She could always wish. She could always wish.
You can have whoever you want in your dreams.
Yeah, I had never had a double dream until I had that one.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you don't want kids, I mean, I feel like we're like making fun of it, but like she wins every argument. She never has to get asked where she was going or coming from. Never gets told she can't hang out with certain people. Like, it's not such a bad. It could be worse. Could be worse. Yeah, right.
And it seems like right now it was being worked on, so she can't ride it, so she's really missing it.
I need some private time with this ride right now. Can you take the cameras away?
And also, you know, at the beginning when she was wiping her face and Brian was referring to the fact that she looked like a football, she calls that
a football player. A
football player. She was saying that was like his juices coming on her. So that's
like an oil change or something.
Yeah.
Make it a W20 there.
And if
020.
In this shot, he got her back. So yeah.
Let's see here.
So ribbing up underneath his name display there too. The parallel lines that are coming down. You see where I'm talking about?
Oh, yes, I see it, yeah.
I love that.
She just should have been an architecture student.
Yeah.
Needs a chin.
I'm
Or a
thinking,
goatee.
oh, geez, you know what I'm thinking about. This is very personal.
Okay,
When I make love to him at
And
home,
it is a phallic symbol.
when I start climaxing,
her choice is a
I
phallic
just
symbol
keep
to me
saying
as an artist.
over and over again. Just as I'm starting to go over the edge, I just tell him, I want your fluids. I want your fluids. I want your fluids. I don't want to go. I'd rather stay here with you. It's never really goodbye to anyone.
It's love.
See you
Because
later,
1001 Knocked, as I have told you many times before, and I will many times repeat it.
She needs
I love you.
jeans.
Yeah, she's got a little
Frankly,
filth on
my
her
dear,
jacket.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
So just to wrap things up about objectphilia, it is love with an object, a one-sided, isolated relationship.
Yeah, with that person, I can't tell if they're a carny or not because they go with the amusement park and they're weird, but they're not like swallowing swords here, you know?
Did you see that fucker at the Tilt-A-Whirl? He had 6 teeth.
He wanted a little bit of jib.
Do you think she gets in fistfights with like the operator of the ride for getting too handsy?
Yeah, or anybody
pulling the
riding
levers and
it.
shit.
Heard you talking to the bearded lady.
Yeah.
You got to be this tall to ride this ride, lady.
Yo, you know
Yeah,
what though? Props to her for having the confidence. Like she was, I'll be honest, she looked and sounded 100% genuine. I don't think there was any part of that was a piss take. And like,
Right.
God bless her for having the confidence to let a fucking film crew in to talk about that, whatever it was, you know?
Yeah, and I bet it was longer, like the clip I had, I bet because it seems like it's a show about objectphilia and other stuff like that. So
Coming this
quite
fall to Bravo
interesting.
or TLC.
Hey, to each his own.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Shout out to TLC. They always have some interesting shows.
I got to give them credit. They got like 9 versions of like fat people shows, and then they had a few versions of like what we'd call little people shows or whatever else. And then now I've noticed they fused them, and there's shows about fat little people. And like, all right, guys, we get it. You got to come up with some new content here. But it's
Like
always
that girl that ate the candy in Willy Wonka.
yes, there you
Yes.
go.
Blueberry. Ooh, I love that part when she said, I taste mashed potatoes. And when I was a big girl, then I was thinking I would totally fucking eat that. I would eat that every day. Anyway, so as far as relationships are concerned, Jeff, I'm going to ask you a couple questions if you don't mind.
All right.
All righty, let me find those real quick. So as far as a relationship, have you ever been in a relationship with an object?
I have not.
You have not.
Not
Now,
once.
as far as relationships are concerned, what is a story you can tell us that might be embarrassing or kind of funny?
Well, I was seeing one girl who was somewhat aggressive, and I was driving her to her place once, and she decides that like now's the time, like she's in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
So I go
Car
to pull
fucking.
over. Pardon?
Car fucking?
Yeah. So I go to pull over. She's like, no, keep driving. She wanted to drive. So she
Ooh.
climbs on top, and we're doing our thing. And then I just see like her shift to the side. I bump forward. See, we have now driven off the road to a fork. We're going right over, and now we're aimed at like a child's playground. And I regained control of the car just in time, pulled in reverse, and then drove off like that's what I meant to do. Like I didn't just.
And that's why you don't fuck in a moving vehicle.
Well,
I had a
know
friend that was
that
being
now.
got into a wreck.
Really?
Yeah. Wasn't me.
I don't know how I would manage that. Do you think you'd be able to keep driving if I was doing that?
Doing what?
Giving you a blowjob while we're driving?
Yeah, I'd be able to drive.
What if she was sitting atop you?
That would be difficult
No.
because I'd have to be able to see the road, and
I have to have eye contact. I like to know and see in his eyes that I've got him going good.
Yeah. I yell my own name during sex because bitches best recognize who they fucking with.
what was that band who did Who Can It Be Now?
You always ask me this shit. I don't know.
The singer had an eye that was Jackie, and I could probably have one eye on you and one looking out to drive, you know.
Nah. I won't ride him, Chris. I'll just give him a blowjob.
They were from Australia.
We'll figure out that.
Yeah, it's a good compromise.
Men at Work, yes, thank you.
Yes, because remember in All Water from Australia, all Aussie radio, we have Men at Work, ICDC, Men at Work, and ICDC.
Exactly. Don't forget today is April Fool's. And what do you have going on? We've talked about how you're brilliant in math and science. I know that you have a website coming up, and you're going to be going live with that about math and science. I wanted our audience to know about it. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where they would go to find out?
Certainly. What I've done is I've started to write a series of math and science books. Basically, I want to make math and science literature basically available to everybody. So I'm writing a series of easy to read, easy to understand, and easy to memorize books, basically covering a whole bunch of topics. Currently, I have the Introduction to Science and the Introduction to Physics books up, as well as I have a night school version of each of these texts. In the normal one, I give basically a university level lecture for a fraction of the price, so that you basically just pick up the notes. And in the night school version, I take the exact same information, summarize it, load it up with punchlines and swearings, so it's even more memorable. If you think of like Norm Macdonald has these long stories where you hear all these characters and but any fan of Norm Macdonald remembers every single bit of that story. So if I could give you a story with all the necessary information that's easy to memorize because it's loaded with punchlines, then basically that's progress of a kind. I'm a big advocate of science and mathematics, and I cannot stress it enough. Certainly with the last year, with all the trust of science. Well, no. There's a burden of proof required for a scientific theory to be valid. You have to make a prediction. And Einstein predicted like eclipses many years in advance. And everyone showed up on the day of his prediction and said, oh, I can't wait to make him look like an asshole. But because he predicted eclipse off the west coast of Africa, it was exactly where the fuck he said it was. That is science. So the people want to say trust the science. No, you have to predict something and you have to be right.
Well, this is like the people who say the science is settled. The science is settled. It's like science is never settled. That's why it's science. It's a method. And it's like if science was settled, there's a word for that. It's called a law. We have an actual name for it, and we give it that. It's like until it says the law of something, like the law of thermodynamics, it's not fucking real.
Or
yet,
I know this one, law of gravity.
That's one law we need to break right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I love this idea of, and it, like I said before, I'm not even this much of a math person or science person. Brian gives me the information that he learns. Sometimes I absorb it. I love this idea of thinking outside of the box to teach math and science. And it might be something that someone like me that would be more interested in, because I'm one of those people that in science, I was the only reason I remember the rainbow is Roy G. Biv. So those kind of things would help me remember. It's just a different way of learning. And I love the fact that your cost is going to be less than other websites because you want to get the knowledge out there. So where can they find this website, and can you give it to them?
Go to amcompson.com. A like Apple, M like man, Compson, COMPSON. I almost did a Gino joke there, but I froze. So
It's all good. And one last thing before we get to the old man, I wanted to have a little shot with you today.
certainly.
You too. Grab your cup.
I've got one over here.
All right, cool beans. I'm only drinking a little bit because I don't do this. Sorry. I gave him a little bit more. All righty. Cheers. Woo. Take a drink. Thank you for being on the show. Now,
It was my pleasure.
It burns.
yeah, it'll burn my asshole later because I'm not
Smooth.
smooth and warm. Now I'm gonna call the old man, and he's gonna come out. Old man,
Old man.
old man, where you at, dude? Old man, do you need a shot of something? Hi, old man. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Good.
My back is doing better today.
Oh, what happened to your back?
Well, I was getting busy, and I was hitting it like this and like that, and I pulled something and went snap, and I went, fuck, we gotta quit fucking. Something's wrong with my back.
Who are you
Dumb
fucking?
bitch.
Who are you fucking?
A salad maker.
Salad shooter?
I don't know. It had a place for my cock.
Nice. So you might have a little bit of objectophilia.
Whatever.
Did you give it a name?
The salad shooter. Sally.
I like Sally.
She's a dumb bitch. I tossed her salad.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next week. Remember, subscribe.
Old man.
What
Hey,
old
man? Sorry, Caroline. And I wanted to say, old man, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Okay. So a little kid walks up to a nun and says, Sister Mary, what is love? She says, well, it's like a fruit. On the outside, it's dull. It's rough. It's ugly. You wonder why anyone would want it. But you get on the inside and you realize it's sweet, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's colorful. You wonder how you ever went a day without it. And the kid says, Sister Mary, do you truly believe that's what love is? And the nun says, I'm sorry. I thought you said, what's a cantaloupe?
That's a
I
good.
fucked one of them too. Called her Jerry.
Well, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thank you for joining us today, Jeff, and thank you, our audience. We're having a great time doing this, and we want to continue. So please share with your friends. Have a great week. We'll see you Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.